Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back, or if it's your first time here, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a foundation routine on this skin look that you're seeing on my face right now. Basically, I'm going to be showing you guys how I like to get a very natural looking and dewy finish to my foundation while still giving me a good amount of coverage, but also not looking heavy. So there's a lot of things in there, but I show you exactly how I achieve it. This video is also really exciting because it is actually in collaboration with L'Oreal Paris, which is so awesome. I have collaborated with L'Oreal Paris in the past, so I'm so happy to be doing another video with them. I also just want to take this moment just to thank you guys, because I wouldn't be having this awesome opportunity to collaborate with L'Oreal Paris if it wasn't for you. Do not forget to let me know what you thought in the comments. Have you tried this foundation? What do you think of it? What's your favorite trick to get really natural looking dewy skin? So let's get right into the video. All right guys, so let's begin, and first things first, let's apply the primer. So I typically do always apply a primer, and I do like to use primers that have a little bit of a glow to them just because my skin is so dry and sometimes it looks a little bit dull. So for today, I'm gonna be taking my L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. If you do have oily skin, I would recommend not using a primer like this. I would definitely recommend using something that's a little bit more mattifying. So next, I'm gonna be taking the L'Oreal Pro Glow Foundation. Even though this formula is very dewy, it does not feel or look greasy, and it is very long wearing, especially when paired with a primer. So I'm gonna be taking the shades 202 and 204, and I'm just gonna mix the two together to create my perfect shade, and then we're going to blend it out on the skin. So then you wanna take a brush or a sponge, or you could even use your fingers to blend out the foundation. I'm gonna be using this brush over here. This is a natural haired brush. So I'm just going to blend the foundation into my skin using really short downward strokes. And you want to make sure to also blend it into your hairline, down your neck, so that there's no foundation lines. And you can see right away, especially paired with that primer, just has such a beautiful glow to the skin. My favorite way to apply the foundation is with a brush, because I feel like it gives a really nice amount of coverage, but using a brush that is not synthetic, that actually has natural hairs, will make the foundation also look really nice and natural, because it will soak up any excess product so that you're not over applying product, and it will look really nice and natural looking on the skin. Probably my favorite thing about this foundation is that I don't feel like I absolutely need to set it with powder. A lot of the times foundations that are supposed to be a little bit more on the dewier side typically feel really greasy on the skin. They sort of just slip and slide around until you actually set them down with powder. But when I touch my face, it does not feel like it's going to transfer. It really does feel like it's set down on my face. So now for my concealer, I'm going to use something really nice and lightweight. So I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal Magic Lumi highlighter. So this is a very, very lightweight concealer. It does not have a lot of coverage, but it will still sort of highlight and brighten up your under eyes. I'm also going to highlight a bit with this. So I'm going to bring it down into a triangle shape down the sides of my nose and then up towards my cheekbone. Do not forget to get right on the inner corners of your eyes. A lot of people tend to forget that area, and that's typically where we are like almost the darkest. And I'm also going to apply this down the bridge of my nose in a straight line on my chin, as well as onto the center of my forehead to add some light in that area. Then I'm gonna take the exact same brush, and I'm going to use this to blend everything out. So the only place that I'm going to powder is going to be underneath my eyes, just to make sure that that doesn't crease, but I'm not going to powder anywhere else because I really want to keep the rest of the face really glowy and dewy, and I don't want to mattify it with any type of powder. So I'm going to be taking my L'Oreal True Match Mineral Powder. This is in the shade Light Ivory. I believe it is probably the lightest shade in this collection, and I'm going to take a little tiny brush and just pat this underneath my eyes. Not only will this powder set the under eyes, but it will also brighten up even more, since this is a really light shade. And I'll add a little bit more coverage as well. And I'm just gonna basically dust whatever is left over on my brush, just sort of in the center of my face, wherever I apply that concealer, to brighten up those areas even more. So a powder tip that I have for those of you who have oily skin but still want to wear a dewier foundation is to only powder the places where you feel like you get oily. So normally that's in like the T-zone, chin area, cheek area, but really keep everywhere else where you don't get oily untouched. That way you're really locking in the places that need to be locked in, but everywhere else you're still going to keep that really beautiful glowy finish. And then if you combine that with a mattifying primer, you're going to be good to go. So to bronze my face just a little bit, I'm going to be taking a face powder from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible powder in the shade 700 Classic Tan. I wanted to use this because I felt like it had a really nice warm undertone that I thought would work really nicely for a bronzer. So I'm going to be taking a fluffy brush. I'm just going to dip my brush into a little bit of this, and then I'm going to bronze up my face with this by applying this right onto my cheekbones, as well as on my temples, and then down my jawline and down my neck. So here is one side of the face that has bronzer and then this side does not. As you can see, even though we didn't like contour this, it did still add more definition to the face. For my blush today, I wanted something that's really just nice and natural and simple. So I'm gonna be taking the True Match blush in the shade Baby Blossom. And this is just a cool tone pink. Very, very nice and simple. I'm just gonna pop this right on the apples of my cheeks. I didn't really want my cheeks to be too crazy blush. I sort of just want a little bit of flush there so that I look nice and healthy and not dead. So now to add a little bit of an extra glow to the face, I'm going to be taking the True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator, and this one is in the shade Golden. Now the reason why I'm using a liquid is because I find that creams and liquids just give much more of a natural look to the skin, especially when compared to powders. Powders can sometimes look like they're really just sitting on top of the skin, whereas creams and liquids really do sort of blend into the skin, and it almost looks like it's a part of it rather than sitting on top of it. So I'm going to take a very small amount of the stuff and I'm just going to tap it right on the tops of my cheekbones just to add a little bit more glow to the face in that specific area. And I'm only using a very small amount because I don't want it to be too overly intense or too obvious. So to finish off the look, I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal setting spray and I'm just going to spray this all over my face, and this is really just going to lock all of the hard work that we just put into our face in place. I always think it's important to actually get up close and personal to the skin so that you guys could actually see what it looks like, because of course a lot of the times foundation could look really good from afar, but you know it's really good when it actually looks good from up close. So here is a very up close and personal shot of what my skin looks like. It doesn't look too dewy that it looks greasy, it just looks very natural looking, bronzed and glowy. So that is it for my foundation routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget to let me know what you thought in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up and of course subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.